This week's episode is special. That's a lie. Although, depending on what day this week you listen to it, it may be special for you. If you're a fan of orchids, eggs Benedict, and wearing your pajamas to work, then Tuesday is your day. If you happen to appreciate bats, writing haikus, or enjoy cheese balls, take Wednesday off to celebrate. I prefer animal crackers, so I'll be gorging on Thursday. And if you just want to hang out, eat garlic, and drink amaretto, then your big day is Friday. You may be wondering what the fuck I'm talking about, and frankly, so am I. My point is that because every single arbitrary, innocuous, irrelevant detail of our lives has become, air quotes, special and celebrated, nothing is actually special anymore. We think our show is special. We know Craig is special. But the reality is it's just an offensively funny show. However, if you want to live in the delusion that your life is special for deeply unimpressive reasons, there's a day for you. So for the rest of April, please enjoy your nationally appreciated grilled cheese, Scrabble, ex-spouse, rubber eraser, bean counter, Ellis Island family history, lineman, clean medicine cabinet, lima beans, yellow bat, Girl Scout leaders, taking chances, pigs in a blanket, hug a plumber, Richter scale, sense of smell, pet parent, zippers, and Bugs Bunny days. Holy shit, what the fuck? Maestro, since today is National Barbershop Quartet and 8-track tape day, hit my fucking music.
Welcome back to Needless to Say. I'm here with Craig, Dave, and Mike. I don't have anything creative for them, but if you saw them, you'd come up with names of your own. You know, it's funny. Right before we even get into our week's in review, I got to say that intro was about as connected to our outline as this outline is to anything.
It sure is.
You could have just read a recipe for Nestle's Toll House cookies. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. We are just that disjointed today. We are recording on a Thursday tonight. We had to do it because a certain high maintenance pain in the ass is headed to Philadelphia tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got shit to do. So, but let's get right to it, guys. Let's go around the table. Let's start with Dave.
Oh shit. All right. Now I get surprised.
How was your week, Dave?
Yeah, week was all right. It was all right. I don't want to bore everybody with work again, but my two oldest kids are heading to Disney this week, actually today, with their mother. I'm a little torn, to be honest. Like, I'm excited for them to go, and they're gonna have a blast and do that, but at the same time, I don't get to be there with them. Like, this is their first trip to Disney.
Yeah.
So it's a little weird for me. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I want to be there.
Mom's fucking awesome.
Fuck mom. It's more that I just I'm not going to be there with them for their first experience at Disney. You know, like, that's every kid's dream. Like, they want to get to Disney at some point. So, you know, I'm not going to get there with them for their first trip. So, but at the same time, like I said, I'm excited they're going. I know they're going to have a ball. They're going to have a blast. Come back and talk about it, and
exactly.
That's all they're going to want to do.
Well, let me ask you this. How are they going to be when they get back? Is it going to be A, oh, Daddy, I missed you so much. Wait till you hear all about my trip? Or is it going to be B, Mommy is so much fucking cooler than
ding, 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 ding. We got a winner.
Because we were down in Disney, and do you know who wasn't there? You, Daddy.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see how
I would have the same experience.
He's like, well, fuck Space Mountain. I got this mountain in my backyard you can climb. All kinds of space mountains. Yeah.
Dave's just showing him pictures of the black hole that came out this week.
You put the blanket over your head. It looks cooler. Yeah.
It's got a flashlight through some cheesecloth. Look, star.
So, I've been wrestling with that this week. The other thing I think I mentioned last week, my little guy was turning 7, and my parents got him this little ninja course for the yard. You guys have seen
like an American Ninja? Yeah.
So they have a juniors TV show, like for kids, like their ages like 9 through 14 or whatever. And my two oldest, they love watching this. So my parents got them, it's a 30-foot course that you strap between trees with like ratchet straps, and it's got handles and shit on it.
Really?
Yeah, so I set it up in the backyard. They're up there playing and doing this stuff, and they come down. They got like bloody hands because they're trying to hold on to all these ropes and shit. But they had a blast. They're outside all day this weekend, so they had fun doing that. And that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's kind of been my week besides work.
Wait, who got that for them?
My parents.
Okay, when are you going to do something cool?
Damn it.
That's why you wanted to go fishing.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, right after Disney and American Ninja, I'm sure you're going to hold right up.
Yeah. He's going to come back. I'm going to have the little guy help me rebuild our walkway and steps. Yeah. He's going to love that. Nice ears. Get a shovel.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Mike,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Mike, I'm amazed you're awake. You did like 10 hours of work this week.
I know, right?
And he's upright.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Ish.
You were 2.5 hours into work when we got our first "my back is screaming" text.
No
And I'm like, oh my god, what was the over/under on this shit?
Lie. That's a lie. You know it. No, it's going good though. Work's going good. Freaking psyched to go watch Hellboy tomorrow night.
You're going to go see it tomorrow night?
You want to go?
No.
Asshole.
I haven't read any good things about it.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I want to see it. It might become my birdemic.
Never. It will not hold up to that.
Well, I mean, I love Hellboy, but then to see it,
I love the
done bad,
originals
it's
and
gonna
stuff.
Be fucking painful.
It's
Sucks.
one of those things. I'll wait for it to come out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Illegally
I'll-
on the internet.
Yeah, I think I owe them that much.
Yeah.
I have no desire to see this movie. I love the originals. The originals were great. The originals were 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Why are we rebooting this? Why not just make another Spider-Man and make another Fantastic Four? And why, I'm not doing another Hollywood episode, but they've run the fuck out of ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to support that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. And you know what? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Hey,
For a lot of reasons, but mostly this.
But also the movie, too.
I'm going to watch it just because I'm curious. I did enjoy the originals with Ron Perlman and was it Guillermo del Toro that directed? Like, they were fun, cool movies.
They were good. I like them.
The second one, the second original one, I guess, was my favorite just because the visuals were a lot of fun in that movie. They were kind of wild.
I like it for the steampunk aspect and stuff. They're very steampunkish,
Definitely.
and I love that shit. So it was kind of cool. They were good. I don't know why they redid it either. I like the guy who's playing him. He's a good actor. He's in some cool stuff with.
it's definitely somebody you wouldn't think to play Hellboy though.
Yeah.
What do you mean he's in cool stuff? He's in one show.
No, he's been in a few things. You just don't realize
All
it.
right, so you're
But his
enamored with
most-
Bah, so I'm discounting your opinion entirely.
He's awesome.
You got to hold it a little longer. It's bah.
Yeah.
I think that was his third line in the movie.
Also, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm drinking coffee.
Oh, we noticed.
Yes.
All right.
Because you're upright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You're not burping into the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I after this week, I realized that I have to stop drinking, man. I got to do it.
Now
It was terrible.
let's have this intervention that we've all wanted for you secretly for months.
There's no secret about
Let's
it.
do this right on the air. I think it's only right, since our listeners only know us this way. I think it's right that we have this intervention right now. What are the odds that you're actually going to stick to this?
Pretty good, I'd say.
Well,
see.
you had one rough night. Now I will say it was an epically rough day.
It was. I had a few of them in the past.
Your
couple
judgment
weeks, man. That's
not
why.
on the high end of things.
No, I know. And a lot of times that judgment has booze involved in it. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, we know.
Track that.
Oh,
so.
yeah, we know.
We know.
And,
I'm trying to look
I love
surprised here. I
drinking.
really am.
But it's not like I drink every day. I binge. That's the problem. I'm a
Every
binge
day.
drinker.
So is this? So is this it now? Like we're just going to come down here and do the show, and you're just going to sit there with cups of coffee until you get caffeinated and turn into an asshole that way?
Yeah, exactly. I
Sorry, man.
remember everything.
Good
Then,
for you.
Forget.
I hope
But
it works.
but it kind of sucks because I fucking actually picked fucking National Beer Week to quit. I didn't realize that.
You did.
And to honor your sobriety, we're going to talk about it at length tonight.
Yes, thank you.
We're all here to support you, pal.
Just for the record, I take April 18th in the points.
That's it. It was,
Hey, cheers, man. I hope it does work. Coffee to me is.
it was funny. Like today, everybody, when you sent out a text, say, should I get some like more coffee? Or you guys drinking beer? We're all like, fucking, when the fuck's gonna drink coffee?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
It's Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
Shit. But anyway, yeah, that was my week.
But you're
That was
working,
it.
right? It's not just the training shit anymore. Like
No,
you're
I'm working.
No, you're
Yeah.
working.
you're laboring
Yeah.
now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Freaking unloaded like 2 semis worth of freaking clothes and toys and
Anything good?
trash. Yeah, of course, all the time. I hate it. You guys know how I am with that shit.
Why do you hate it?
Because I fucking had to throw away tons of Star Wars toys the other day, man.
Why are you throwing it away? Because they were just trashed?
It's part of their policy.
Yeah, it's
If
their
it's not
policy. You can't-
sellable,
they'll-
they
All right, well,
can't
that's-
do
If
it.
it
Okay.
doesn't sell, it goes right into the trash.
I remember once I
And
was
I-
at the WWF restaurant in New York City, and they had the gift shop upstairs, and they had all these toys sitting off to the side of the counter. And I knew the guys because I basically got mail there. Like I love that place. That bar was amazing.
Yeah.
But I went to him and I said, if I give you $40, can this find its way into my backpack right now? And he's like, no, we have to destroy it because there was something wrong with the labeling on the box. Brand new toy, perfectly good toy. They could have donated it to a shelter, but by policy, they had to destroy it. I would imagine though that when it comes to toys that aren't going to hurt anybody, it's not like some kind of offensive defect in the toy.
Yeah.
Why not just give it to an orphanage or something?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Give it to another spot like that. But what I thought about today is, how about if there's 2 people working there that want that item wicked bad? Could stop fights. Could start stupid drama shit.
If you
know what I
work
mean?
with people that would get into a fight over a toy that they wanted to steal, you're employee of the month. Show up 3 days in a row, you're right in the running.
I feel like our guys over at Nerd Hub would be like, they're like, yeah, I'd fight over that toy right now. Like,
I
Nerd
would.
Hub.
right?
You don't
I
have
would.
to go as far as Nerd
But
Hub.
aren't there like action figures that are out there that are collector's items because they had misprints and things?
Yeah.
Like this Star Trek and Star Wars toys that were.
Well, I think it's any mislabeling
Kinda like the shirts
that
overseas.
might cause problems. Like, say they put the age range wrong, and then somebody
okay.
under that
All right,
age range.
that's different.
Something like that
Liabilities
is
and
they
shit,
consider it's all legal.
It's not like
Yeah.
Geordie LaForge was made without his visor on. Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Basically, Jordy, what a reference.
It was the Reading
The
Rainbow
amount
version.
of times we mentioned LeVar Burton in
I know,
passing.
right?
We did Kunta Kinte like 3 weeks
right.
ago, and now Jordy LaForge.
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
The Reading Rainbow version. Great.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. The legal ramifications of it. It's not a misprint on the box, like the pitches just
That makes
skewed
sense.
sideways,
Or the colors are
something,
wrong.
Or the
I mean,
colors are off. Yeah.
If it's anything that can misrepresent the product, so you think you're getting a blue vested Han Solo when it comes out with a black vest, people
And it
could
says
sue.
cock on the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Han Solo show.
Anything that says cock on the
was
back
gonna
is
go Hung
Craig's
Solo.
going to collect it.
Hung
Hung Solo. Hung Solo.
But I mean, there was a defect on the wrestling toys. I wanted that wrestling ring in the worst way, but there was a defect where the ropes were too springy, and it was pulling the things out, and kids could get whipped in the eye with it.
Really?
And I'm like, fucking nut up,
Sell
kid.
safety glasses with
Yeah,
it.
Meanwhile,
exactly.
the same kids are setting up tables in their
safety
backyard and
glasses.
jumping off their roof.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but they're not responsible because they say don't try this at home.
Yeah.
But the little rubber toys where you stuck the thumb up the wrestler's ass.
Oh,
and
yeah. I
fought, those were
remember
okay.
thumb wrestlers.
Those are cool.
Well, don't try that at home. Especially with Mike's
you
new
sure,
coworker. All right, so Mike's got a new coworker, and it actually falls in line with my week in review. So I we're gonna throw it to Craig first, but before we do that and we get off Mike, I gotta say, tell me about this coworker. He did some audio for us.
Yeah,
He did.
All right, so introduce him, please.
His name is Stephen Lust.
I already want
Right
him.
there. I was psyched.
What's his finishing move?
I don't know. I got to ask him.
Does he
that.
just finish?
But I guess he plays a heel, I guess, right?
Yeah, I saw his video. It seems like he's got some moves, man.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
joking-
he's
and
pretty-
Steve, we're just kidding around. We break balls in case you
Yeah,
haven't
definitely.
listened.
He was a champion, tag team champion
Yep.
for a long time.
For a while.
in the league that they're in. What
Yeah.
is it? Mass Anarchy.
Yeah, I think
is that the one?
Mass
There's a
Anarchy's
couple of other
one.
ones.
There's the New England Wrestling Federation, NEWF, or something like that.
He's been all over all over those.
They go all the way down to Cape Cod. You know what? They get a following. And like Mike mentioned to me this week, you go to those local shows, every now and then you get a name from your childhood. Will show up there just to get a quick paycheck.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, in Fall
Jake Snake Roberts will show up and whip his dick out. Remember he did that? Didn't he do that in a local wrestling function?
That's when he was drinking and
a couple
stuff.
of years ago,
I
we
saw
had
that.
Scott Hall from the NWO showed up in Fall River.
Yeah.
And he was so drunk and out of it that he was in the ring. He fell in the ring just talking. Just fell over.
Passed
And
out.
so the other wrestlers like, okay, we got to save this show. So they all just surrounded him and did that fake stomp kicking
No
thing.
way.
Yeah.
But he wasn't selling it. He was just laying there motionless.
Sleeping.
It's basically sleeping.
So they should
These
have really
guys are
kicked
just
him then.
wailing on him with their fake feet and doing that. And so they ended up suing him because they ruined their
Well,
reputation.
yeah, it ruined the reputation and screws the show for the people that are there and the guys that are
And all
there
I
to
could,
work.
I just wish I was there to see it.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the pricks from Comic-Con. And so
Yeah.
I would love to go to Comic-Con with a video of that and be like, autograph this motherfucker, and then
Yeah.
walk away.
Yeah. He was just in Cape Cod last week.
Was he?
Yeah.
And he's got some. We'll actually play the audio right now because he's got an upcoming event. So here it is.
This is the right stuff, Stephen Lust, and you chuds are listening to the Needless to Say podcast. Come check me out and kick some butt at 95 Empire Street for Providence Wrestle Party on Saturday, the 20th of April. You know what it is. Bring all your friends, chuds and chudettes. I'm the best.
All right, Steve, welcome to the Needless to Say universe. Again, we're going to break
brother.
your balls. We're going to break your balls a lot. Your wrestling name is Lust. Yeah. And if that's your real name, I apologize to your mom and your dad. Please don't kick my ass. Craig, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Fence is up. Me and Manny got the fence up. Well, the short area, the little compound on the side of the house. The
When does the
company's
Geodome go over it?
yeah.
It's coming, right?
I'm blocking myself right away from all surrounding civilization. It's fucking fantastic.
It's going to be great when the property value just skyrockets in Craig's neighborhood.
Yeah. But me and Manny spent, sometimes Manny spent last Saturday, put the fence up. Well, I was all week long getting the post holes dug. I talked about that last week. It was horrible. And then Manny came by this week and helped me out. And it was great because Manny at first was all impressed. He's like, dude, all of these posts are 8 feet dead center. And every single one of them was, except for the last one. It was 8'3".
Cumulative.
I was like,
Give
I
me
was
a
getting
little
tired,
relative.
guy. What do you want?
Were they at least in a straight line?
Yeah, no, they
Okay.
were perfectly straight. So we just used a pressure treated board, took a picket off of one of the pieces we cut down, slapped it up. It was fine. Yeah. But yeah, it came out good. Manny did a great job. So hats off to him. Thank you very much. That was awesome. And we had a good day. We drank beer. We put the fence up. We ate a ton of food.
Holy crap, that cost you more money than friggin' hiring somebody with Manny there. Forget it. That motherfucker drinks and eats. Holy shit.
So I got a few.
Kidding,
Put
I
Manny's
love you,
lunch
brother.
on layaway.
A lobster salad installment plan.
Miller Lite truck parked in the fucking driveway. Fucking all set.
But I'm looking forward to this weekend because I got just a couple of little things to do. I'm not going to bust my ass. I got tomorrow off. So I'm relaxing this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking it easy. And I'm psyched because Game of Thrones,
Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Holy shit.
I am fucking fired up. Like I said, fucking winter's not the only thing that's coming.
Oh my god.
Nah, I am fucking psyched.
Actually, that would be my finishing move right there. Winter is coming. Thank God winter is ending. I don't want to hear
no
about this
shit.
fucking show anymore.
I'm fucking psyched.
Get ready for at least the next 2 months. You're going to hear about it.
Oh, yeah.
Is that going to be your weekend review every week?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Just gonna do a rundown of the fucking show every week.
But the other cool thing this week, though, was that black hole picture. I thought was really
That was
cool.
awesome.
I thought
Which
that-
one? The one you guys sent me?
Yeah.
Are you talking
Not
about
that one.
Oh, all right.
And it wasn't the Marsha Cross story either. That was the one.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was actually really cool. It's an amazing fucking feat of science. I thought.
And it's not just the picture. We were talking about this before we started the show. it's not. Some people just didn't get it. Like it's just a fuzzy picture. Like it's not a picture.
Yeah.
It's much more than that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you said earlier, it's something that was theory that's actually been. I mean, they knew they were there. As much as it was theory, it was known.
Yeah.
Black holes exist. But it was never witnessed.
It was theoretical until Wednesday.
Until yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, there it is. Yep. We actually have evidence now.
So where are the skeptics saying it was fake like the moon landing?
Oh,
It's coming.
Yeah,
guaranteed. You know, fucking flat Earth people are like, there is no space. You know, stupid shit like that. You fucking dumb fucks. I wish they were all fucking 55 million light years away. You fucking
inside
dumb
a black hole.
fucking assholes. I
No,
hate
the
you
Earth
all.
used to be flat, but then when the comet hit and killed the dinosaurs, it folded it around it. They're all living happily inside the Earth. Dopes.
Exactly.
But no, that picture was cool. Like I actually watched the press conference that they held, and first of all, I was impressed with the guys holding it from. It must have been NASA or wherever.
Yeah.
Like they spoke fluently like 8 different languages.
Yeah.
Just get up on the podium. He's like, "This is the black hole. We did this, and then like French, German, like boom." Right after, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Like the 4 of us can't speak one sentence properly in English. We had a 3-day argument about the dictionary 2 weeks ago.
So true. Pronunciation.
But then I almost I had like an audible gasp when they put the picture up. I was like, "Wow."
I haven't seen it.
'Cause
Have
it
you
was-
seen it, Brad?
Yes.
Damn it.
But it was, for me, like Craig said, it was more that it's not just a photo. It's like, holy shit, there it is. And
Yeah.
it looks like what they thought it would.
Evidence.
And it's
It's doing
there,
what they thought it would. And yeah.
it's one.
Well, how did they know they existed then? If there was never any evidence, did they see things
Radiation
disappearing?
light.
Well, no, it wasn't that they
It's
saw
a measure of like the mass and gravity and that sort of stuff, right?
And it was theoretically they had to exist for the way other things move and the way the galaxies move.
Plus they measured the light and everything and around that area, you know, they can see it coming in, you know. I don't know.
So
You know,
it's-
based on this discussion, I'm pretty sure that's the only hole you guys have seen this week.
but that's it. The whole thing. It was just the feat of science that it was. I thought was incredible. The fact that they used a shitload of telescopes around the world simultaneously to take this picture.
to see something 500 billion kilometers away.
Yeah,
Fucking bananas.
55 million light years away. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. So, can you know how many? You know that's insane.
way.
Just think about it like this: like Craig can't see you across the table without those Coke bottle caps.
Yeah. There you go. NASA, black hole.
But
I'm happy to be the black hole in this case.
call me. But yeah, so that was it. I just thought that was really cool. It was interesting.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
that was it. Other than that, not much else happened.
Well, I got lost in
how about you?
the black hole of entertainment last Sunday.
Nice.
I watched WrestleMania, and from what I gather, it's actually still happening. It was the longest fucking night ever. Now, they're always good for 5 to 6 hours. They went 7.5 hours.
Come on.
That
That's longer
started-
than the Super Bowl.
That's longer
It's
than
longer
the
than I
build-up
worked
to the
today.
Super Bowl. That's longer
Longer
than
than I worked today.
the year.
So how many? What number is this?
This was 35.
It's been consecutive.
Yes.
Every year.
They started in 1984. I went to the first 2.
Wow.
And that's
Really?
just to age myself. Yeah, I was. The first one was in Madison Square Garden. Second one was in 3 cities. And Nassau Coliseum on Long Island was one of them. And so then they went to like Chicago and LA.
Oh, shit.
And so we watched 2/3 of the show on monitors. And they didn't have big flat screens back then.
Yeah.
Watch it on black and white, fucking direct,
Yeah.
direct whatever it's
20,000 people standing outside the janitor's office watching the black and white TV.
Closed circuit. Fucking.
Closed circuit. Thank you. My
Yeah.
God, I couldn't think of it. 6 hours is too much. 7.5 hours is obnoxious. The show ended at 12:30 at night in New York. People had to go to work the next day, and they're all trying to get on this.
No, they didn't.
One set of trains.
Well, there was a lot of fill though. Imagine how many hours. There's got to be at least 2 hours of just fill.
Well, they did
between.
a 2-hour pre-show where people that would normally be on TV were not even on the main show.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking 36 Walmarts opened up 4 hours late the next day.
Oh my God.
It's a shame too, because isn't that where you're getting your fishing gear for your sad children? For your depressed children who just want to be back with mommy in Disney World?
Oh man.
That's good. Throw a bobbin in the water. I'm sure they're going to be enraptured. I won't get into details of the show.
Thank you.
You're another one. Tell me more about work and the black hole.
Yeah. Hey, how about this? How about
We already
this?
talked about Manny.
How about every time they bring up Game of Thrones, we bring up WrestleMania?
There you go. Fair enough.
That'll keep
All right.
you guys quiet, right?
Fair enough.
Mike is the one defending me, sort of, kind of, and I actually owe Mike and Leslie an apology. These guys, for the last 3 weeks, I've said, hey, come over for WrestleMania, and they very, nicely and politely said no. And they made it clear that they weren't. Craig even came over that afternoon and hung out with us for a while, to the point where I actually was late to get watching WrestleMania.
I was like, I'm leaving before that shit starts.
So then Mike...
I didn't want to bother him,
Well, you didn't, but Mike texted me, and he's like, hey, can I bring Leslie tonight? And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't think any of you were actually fucking staying for the show. So we didn't get any food, no extra drinks or anything. I'm like, shit, I'm not really going to be a good host right now. So I'm like, why don't you come over in the afternoon? And Mike ended up watching it over at your aunt's house. So it was...
My wife's aunt's. Yeah.
It was a crazy fucking day. It was too long, and I'm kind of done with wrestling for a while. I need a break.
Yeah.
7 hours of wrestling is enough. But that said, welcome Stephen Lust.
Yes.
I'm curious though. 7 hours. What entertained you the most? If you
think-
had to pick like 2 or 3 moments.
It was actually one of the best ones I've seen. There's a lot of up and down opinions of it. I'll say Ronda Rousey has been long rumored that she's going to take a break and go try to start a family. So they got her out the right way. She lost for the first time since she joined.
Yeah.
But she lost controversially. Her shoulder was up. And they did it almost like a sports thing, like a photo finish. And the announcers were acting confused. And in character, they actually convinced me that people weren't sure. Like, I wasn't 100% sure that they weren't really reacting.
People were
never know.
complaining about it. I saw it online.
They were
Really?
doing it. They did a good job creating that little sense of, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because, the referee's got to call it as it is. And, say she collapsed and she fell down and the other girl laid on top of her and counted 1, 2, 3. That ruined 6 months of storylines.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they actually did a good job of making people go, what if?
Now, doesn't that also leave the door open for a couple
for her
of
to
years down the
come
road?
back.
Be like, she's like, hey, you know what? It's been a couple of years.
I think she'll be back
That's
next
exactly what
month.
I was thinking.
I think they've told this. Because of social media, the wrestling guys now have social media teams that purposely leak things. Like Ronda Rousey wants to have a baby, so then when she shows up next month at the pay-per-view, it's a big surprise. Holy shit, she's here.
Yeah.
There's
She's
another
got a
guy
little
who's
baby bump. Girl's kicking her in the stomach.
We're gonna have a coat hanger match. WWE Plan B brought to you by Snickers.
It could be the Birdem match.
Yeah.
You just blindfold them and have it swing of things that aren't there.
Coat hangers.
The best match of the night, I think, has to go right away. They took the belt off Brock Lesnar in record time. I think they've had enough of his shit.
He's an idiot.
Well, he's a dummy who also, basically, they said, you're going to be our champion. And you're going to be the face of this company. And you also only have to work 4 times a year. So he never shows up on TV. The crowd has forgotten this belt even exists. So they put him out first. And Hulk Hogan got interrupted at the start of this match, which was good, too. Because fuck Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
But then they got out to the middle of the ring, and within a minute and a half, 1, 2, 3, Brock Lesnar's done. I don't think we see him again.
What's the belt he has?
He had the Universal Championship. Because now that they've got 2 shows with 2 separate storylines, they've got 2 separate heavyweight. Yeah. So they kind of...
Didn't he make some controversy, too, that he wanted to be the last match? So that was like a big thing.
He always thinks he's the headliner. He's
Yeah.
got some clauses, and Vince McMahon said, no, you're going out first, start the show right. 1, 2, 3, he was pinned.
Also, it was the first WrestleMania to have a women's match. as the headline.
The
yeah.
headlining matches.
They were good. The
women's
girls brought it. I mean, it wasn't any better or any worse than anything they've done before. But the girls now are way different than the ones. Like, there ain't no fabulous moolah here.
Yeah.
You know, they know how to
They're just
wrestle.
as acrobatic,
Big-time athletes,
and taking
man.
big hits and big falls.
They're
just like
trying
the
to
guys
position
are.
this Becky Lynch as like the female Stone Cold, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I like the fact they arrested her last week, and the storylines are so fucking dumb.
Pounds it truly. At the fucking end of the day.
He looks right at his and pauses it.
You guys are dicks. Glug, 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 glug.
Tell me more about your 8-foot holes.
Yeah.
Can you do that for me? I'm trying to talk about an entertainment event. You've just spent 3 weeks telling us you're getting a fence installed.
My weeks aren't that exciting.
Brad's whole week is one night.
Yeah.
Wait till next week, because tomorrow I'm going to Philadelphia, a city I just adore.
Oh,
I can't wait to
adore
hear about that
And I'm
trip.
going to a weekend-long death metal festival with a 50-year-old friend of mine. We should be an epic disaster in the back of that room. I'm going to walk out with 10 T-shirts, all of them with indecipherable band logos.
Which
and then
one-
I'll be back next Friday with a weekend review nobody else cares about.
Which one of you guys are bringing the defibrillator later?
Oh, are you kidding me? We're not going to be the only 50-year-olds there.
no.
That's what I'm saying.
Half the bands are hitting that number now.
Yeah.
Please. Watch these guys get up there and limp up there and
Most
start
of the bands.
screaming about "Let's get moving." I want to hear you sing. Actually, we want to hear you sing. That's why I paid for this fucking ticket. Growl boy, get out
But
of
it's
here.
also it's a beer festival too, right?
It is a beer festival, and I think that's a big selling point for me.
it has to be.
The buddy of mine I'm going with doesn't drink, so he gets to drive.
Yep.
And I get to sample all the beers from all these different Pennsylvania breweries. I think it's a great combination of a bunch of guys with Arrested Development, lock them in a big sweaty room and get them drunk all day.
Yeah.
Nothing bad's going to happen.
No, it's in Philadelphia.
Should be good.
Yeah, I know, right?
But the thing that I'm annoyed about is fucking Teespring. And I brought it up last week at the end of the show, but Teespring was supposed to have the shirts for me today.
Yeah.
And so I can bring them. The singer of Deceased, who we featured on the show, was going to wear our shit on stage. And now, I told him, I said, you're out of luck. It's not happening. But I'll send him the
He's
shirt.
like, damn.
There goes my weekend. Yeah. I think it would have been good promo for us. 1,700 drunk metalheads. I think that's our people.
Guaranteed.
And now we're not going to get that. He's still going to take pictures for us, and he's going to do a bump for us, and it's going to be cool.
He's waiting for a shirt from Cycle. that's why he's just been doing his routine with no shirt on. He doesn't own one.
So your buddy's gonna give us a bump on stage.
Not hopefully on stage, but
Yeah.
more likely he's just going to record one for us. But it'd be cool to have his voice, distinctive voice, very well known in the community. And I'm hoping to meet a few other bands. It's going to be a good weekend, but you know what? At my age, I don't know, man. Monday morning's going to be rough.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough.
We talked about this a few weeks ago. Hangovers last longer and longer.
It's not just the hangover; it's the endless pounding
The
death
ringing.
metal. I mean, 2 days of death metal. I
People
think by
screaming
Sunday
at you.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what they do. They're barking at you from the stage, telling you to start moving, and then you get that one fat guy. There's always one fat fuck. Kind of looks like Mike, and, and he's got the beard, and he's clearly in some kind of biker gang, and I think they ride spring-loaded Vespas, but they're still they're still bikers, and the one guy just says, "No, we can still mosh." And just starts throwing elbows and shit.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to be hit with like that fat underarm like your grandmother has.
Yep.
Nobody needs that slapping on you, knocking your drink over.
Freaking wet,
Splashing in your
long
free
hair.
beer. Yeah, fuck that. Should be good. But I am looking
Should be good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll be great.
but I'm going to be drinking my 5 favorite beers. Okay. There's the local one, believe it or not. We got a Rhode Island brewery coming. It's going to be Whalers Brewery. They're going to be representing with their best beer ever, Rise. So they're going to be down at this festival. I'll probably
are they?
That's
yeah, I'll probably stay with that one.
They're gonna serve their beer called Rise at a music festival with a bunch of old ass singers who probably can't do that.
Yeah.
What
What can't your dick do? Rise.
Simultaneously, 1,500 people pop a pill.
The show goes on for 4 hours.
That would have been the best name for the festival. Brown ale and blue pills. I'm looking forward to Red Hook's going to be there, and they're going to. I like the Longhammers. That's good. Edit that out.
Yeah, we heard that. About
I'm also looking forward to Genesee Creamy Discharge Ale.
Yes.
I'm gonna have that on
good.
tap.
Nice.
And then after 2 days of drinking, I'll need new pancreas porter, and then the sweet release of Organ Death Pilsner. And that, my friends, is another half hour we can review. Nobody needed.
Right? But it was just because it's beer week.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's National Beer Week.
Well, yeah.
You're an American.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You like beer?
Fucking celebrate.
It's a National Beer Week, which is, I was like, so it's a week then.
It's a whole week.
Like, celebrate with beer. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let me try something different.
I always thought that was spring break.
Yeah. Right?
If the
It's
Mex
just
get a
fucking
day
stupid.
for it, okay, and the Mexicans get it, they get a day to celebrate an independence that actually is not what Cinco de Mayo is all
No,
about.
it's
but
not.
fuck it, they'll go out and destroy a part of town. Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
why not?
Why
Yeah.
the fuck not? Why can't we have National Beer Week?
Oh, we can. Like I said, we could have anything.
Yeah.
Fucking
Dave said it right in the
pee in
intro.
the shower week.
Yeah.
Every week is pee in the
National,
shower.
what's that thing in the back of my fridge week? National Masturbation Week.
Isn't that every week?
Right? National What's My Asshole Look Like week.
So what are you going
Everybody's
to
got
do to
mirrors on the
celebrate?
floor.
Oh, bullshit. You're going to just keep calling Dave.
Why not just have like national? What's the smell week?
Yeah.
National.
Yeah, it's
Taste
just
this
fucked
week.
up. Like,
Yeah.
like you said in the intro, all those like everything is gonna have this. It's all marketing, obviously. You know,
I think you guys are missing out, though. I think this is a good week. You're going to laugh at me here, but I think the best week to do this is or the best thing to do with this is to go to chain restaurants like Chili's and not Houlihan's, but Applebee's.
Yeah.
Places like that, because, they actually have the best beer specials in town. And they'll be featuring a lot of these microbrews, especially locally, at like dirt cheap prices in honor of National Beer Week. Because they're trying to win over the drinking crowd on top of just the weekend eating crowd.
yeah.
They want to be your neighborhood bar. So I think that you guys should probably go try to find a few shitty like Fridays somewhere and go drink some cheap fucking beer that doesn't come out of a white can that says light right on it.
They should have just made it like the same week as Oktoberfest. No.
Genius.
That's a different thing, though. That's a different thing.
That's German beer week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you should be drinking Spaten exclusively.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know it. I know the pain.
Hogarden's a good one too.
Hogarden.
Yeah.
That's what we call your house. That's what the lump is in the back of your house. It's a Hogarden. That's where you bury him.
All those points with Ray you built up, they're gone.
I needed to score points with my own wife. Yeah. So I don't know. I get what you and Dave are saying about everything's an observation, but honestly, we don't need an excuse to drink. But if places are going to offer you deals to do it, take advantage. You're going to drink most of the week anyway. Whether it's one beer or 10 beers, you're going to drink.
Yeah.
Might as well go out and have a couple beers and do it for $4 a pop.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
If that was only the first time you ever said it.
Right now, Craig's drinking for free.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is it's a great point.
All right, but what was what doesn't have a point is this segment. Why are we talking about Beer Week? I mean, what do we really drink for? We could talk for hours, and we've recorded them and put them on the internet.
To cope with Mike.
A little bit.
That's the same
We
reason.
drink because Mike drinks.
That's the same reason I drank.
84 weeks, and we finally had a 2-minute intervention.
Yeah.
By episode 150, Mike should be healing.
Yeah, I'm so fucking jealous, dude. I wish I was going to that show. That sounds like it's going to be a good time, dude. Definitely.
Agreed.
Fucking awesome.
Agreed. But I think, what do you guys want, though? You want stories. And that's what comes from drinking beer. We don't drink beer because it's the best tasting thing in the world. Some of it's good, some of it isn't. But we drink beer as a means to an end. And it usually, knowing this crew, ends a pretty dramatic fashion.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, the stories we always tell are usually, oh, yeah, remember that time where, we drove across a police parking lot? Or that time we drove up to a police station and damaged some police property? or that time we were being followed by police. If you stop me if you're sensing a theme.
Those stories sound familiar.
But the drunk stories they're like playing telephone. You tell them enough, they get better and better and better as time goes on.
Yeah.
What stories do we have related to beer, or even without beer involved, that are hard for any sober people to believe? And I'm going to lead off.
All right.
With Dave, because he just jumped in.
Oh, no. I the first thing that jumped into my head, I lived in Buffalo for 3 years, and my buddies and I were out there. We were partying downtown Buffalo on Chippewa Street, which is a few blocks from the water.
No downtown should have Chippewa Street
Hey, man.
as its main drag.
That's the first thing that'll be changed in the story as he tells it.
But we ended up migrating from there to some house party. and these guys are like, dude, you got to go to the docks right up the block. Why? Like, just go. So we meander up to the docks, and there's like a line of like 5 or 6 people just standing. It's kind of like at a dock, and there's like ramps that kind of zigzag down to the water.
Yeah.
15 feet below. And there's a dude at the end, kind of like almost like he was taking your tickets to get on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Right? And he's standing there, and people are handing him cash, and they're walking behind him, and it looks like they were taking a piss and then leaving. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So we go over there. On the bottom of the docks, after about 2 or 3 zigzags down, is a fucking midget in a yellow raincoat getting pissed on.
No way.
Yeah. The guy up top is the midget's buddy. He's making money to get pissed on.
Oh my god.
How much was it?
I don't remember. I'd be lying if I don't. I don't remember.
You're going fishing this
walked
weekend,
home
right?
$25 late.
Dave walked home $25 like they didn't have to pee anymore.
He pissed. He's drinking fast to try to piss on this thing.
That's incredible.
That's fucking amazing.
That's fucking amazing.
Like it's a fucked up story, and I close my eyes. It's like I just saw it last night. I will never forget that.
Incredible. I would never forget that myself.
No, I never will.
I'd have a hard time explaining that, especially if I were you, where you got to produce receipts for everything. But it was a midget.
What's this miscellaneous for 7
That's
receipts?
fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Why is that brilliant?
Imagine playing Never Have I Ever. And somebody says, pissed on a midget. Your hand goes up.
Oh shit! That is
Never
funny.
ever been pissed on by 30 people. Your little nub goes up.
They both standing side by side in the crowd, like
It's like a big midget party. You're giving us a bad name, Morty.
Oh shit.
What about you, Craig? Come on. I know there were some headlines you had that kind of fit into the theme, but you're telling me with all the stories you have, and you have a few, I've heard them all 9 times.
We all have.
No, it's weird because I mean, just ridiculous, crazy shit. But the midget thing's got me all fucked up now.
I said the word, dude.
Craig's on his phone looking up prices for hotels in Buffalo right now.
It's like playing Pop Goes the Weasel for freaking Curly.
Top that.
Your travel agent's like, okay, so in Chippewa Street, the midget district. There's no flexibility on location.
It's only half a block.
That is funny.
Oh, even the streets are midget. There we go.
It's just Chip Street.
All right, I'll go.
Yeah.
I had ghost issues. Actually, Dave, you had ghost stories.
I have a ghost story.
You go
too.
then.
No. It's your turn.
Because the ghost thing, I said this on the show for a Halloween episode. And
Yeah.
you guys looked at me like I had 6 heads. But our campus was notoriously haunted. And there was all sorts of weird shit that happened, especially in the fraternity and sorority houses. And you guys mocked me for it. I'm not going to go into the whole story again, but I've seen some ghosts there. I think my last house was haunted. We had an incident in the old house where there was a spot right in the front room, which we used as a dining room. But if you actually look at it, there were cable outlets everywhere. It was somebody's sitting room, like a TV room.
Yeah.
And the instant we moved in, both of my cats, the one's dead now, but they were both at the time went right to this spot. And they scratched at the wall and they scratched at the wall. And for the longest time, I believed there was like a buzzing coming from the plug.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was some kind of weird thing. Then the neighbors brought a dog over, and the dog immediately went over to it. And then my sister's dog came over and immediately went over to it. And then I ran into a guy at our bar, the Kinsman. And I've never seen this guy before, and I haven't seen him since, which is creepy in and of itself. The guy drives me home. We got to talking at the bar. Turns out, as he's driving me home, he cuts through the cemetery, which really adds a nice level of eeriness. But there's a way to get back there.
I know a shortcut.
Yeah. Where you're going, time is
Doors
no
locked.
Why?
So we finally get in. He's like, holy shit, this is my grandfather's house. And it turns out he died right in that room, right in that spot.
No shit.
And so that creeped me out. I had some other things happen there.
Maybe it was the electrical outlet that killed him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's like, why is that buzzing?
Yeah. Old Gramps had a habit of licking his fingers and touching socks. And my cats knew it. There was a lot of weird footsteps and shit in the house. My mother-in-law stayed with the kids once, and me and Melissa went away for a weekend. And sure enough, she's like, oh my God, there's some weird sounds coming out of your house. And she's not the kind of person that believes in that.
Yeah.
So, I tend to believe in ghosts. I think that there's just too many incidents of it for it not to have some level of truth.
Yep.
It's like people don't believe in aliens. We've just found a black hole billions of light years away. You're telling me we're the only one that had a genetic misfire
Yeah.
and produced life? Come on.
Exactly.
There's got to be
Alien
tons of life
technology.
everywhere.
What's your ghost story?
Go ahead.
For me, for the longest time, I didn't really believe in this stuff. I always enjoyed watching like the ghost shows,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost Hunters and that crap when it
Yeah.
first came out.
I love that shit.
I was always like, yeah, this is horse shit. But since I met my wife, like she wholeheartedly believes in this stuff, and she's got a bunch of stories from her past that's kind of led her there. But for me, I've never bought it. Now, my old office was up in the middle of Massachusetts, so at some point it was native land,
Yeah.
right?
Well, wasn't it all?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, fair enough. But I
Dave's
worked
at his desk. He goes, woo, woo, woo,
Yeah.
woo. He said, what the fuck was that?
Turns out it was just Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. But what did that sound like?
Pale ale.
But I started working within a week. This kid and I started at the same time. This kid was a douche nozzle. He was a complete, like, nothing this kid
Why you
said
pointing at me
I
when
ever-
you
No,
said that?
Nothing this kid ever, like, no one ever believed, and he was just an asshole. But he always said, this place is haunted. I saw a ghost one day. We're like, shut the fuck up. No one cares what you say. Right? But then, over the next couple of years, a couple things happened for me, and I was kind of like, shit, I don't want this kid to be right. But it's hard to argue with what happened. So the first thing for me was I was sitting in the back of my classroom, right? So I'm sitting at a desk looking ahead of me. There's a classroom of like 15 people. And at the front of the room is this big garage door. And outside the garage door, we have a 2-story house built that we used to train people.
Yep.
So I'm sitting there and I'm typing on my laptop, and just above the top of my laptop is basically eye level to the first floor of the house. And I'm typing, and I see out of my peripheral someone walk by this sliding door on the other side of the house. And I look up, and I was like, fuck, everybody's in the classroom. I was like, it was probably just the maintenance guy. Go back to typing, and it happens again. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I get up, and I walk out there, and there's nobody out in this space at all.
Yeah.
So then I started thinking, I'm like, the fuck did I just see? And it happened I played with the lights, everything out there, nothing I could replicate it. I had people go out there and walk back and forth, and it was a different image.
Yeah.
A few months later, I had this woman in one of my classes who was kind of an older hippie, 50-something with gray dreadlocks, and she's a white lady. You know, that kind of person.
Yeah, yep.
Picture Aunt Michelle, but not clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This woman
What an
would
odd way to get your family involved.
Yeah, well, technically it's Craig's family, but that's okay. This woman would not go up on a deck we had built. It was only 10 feet off the ground. She would not go up there. She insisted that there was something up there that was not right. She wouldn't go, and I was like, okay, I can't argue with this woman. So there's been a few things happen there that I've kind of been like, it's more than I can just talk
Yeah,
off,
right.
You know what I mean? So those type of things have kind of stuck with me since then. And since then, I've kind of been a little more open to these ideas.
I had something very similar happen. This is the story I wasn't going to tell, but since you've kind of had the same experience, I was waiting. I had a black tie formal with a sorority, a very good friend of mine, and so the rule of the house was you don't go past the foyer. You have to wait there, and the girls
come to you?
they basically present them old school,
Gotcha.
and so
Yep.
the house mom brought all the girls down, and we were like, ooh, I'm getting laid tonight, and but there was a sitting room to our left, and same thing happened. Out of the corner of my eye, I see somebody in a ball gown dart across the room, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess one of the girls is downstairs, and then one of the guys I was with wasn't a friend of mine, but he looked at me and he goes, did you see that? And I said, yeah, and I'm like, there was nobody in there. So we went in there, and where she ran, there was a curtain, and there was a window, no door, and a brick wall behind it.
No way to get out.
No way to get out. No point of
nuts.
egress. And then that house had other things. Craig called it humidity. But there was a door that nobody could open. No amount of fucking jocks in the world could get this door open.
Yep.
And then every now and then that thing would just start swinging.
That's
And all sorts of noises. And then the one time that was really, it was kind of a blessing, was that one girl passed out in the snow in the middle of winter on the lawn, and she was dressed like, the girls didn't wear coats to the bars,
Right.
Because the bars were right up the block. They'd
Yeah.
suck it up the 2 blocks and
Yeah.
go home. Fell down in the snow, didn't get up. Fire alarm goes off in the house. Nobody knows what triggered it, but all the girls had to come outside.
No
They found
shit.
her, and that was it. A lot of little like hair on your arm kind of stick up kind of
Yep.
stories. And that kind of stuff was cool. I never had like the evil ghost. I never had
No,
the bad one.
I've never had that either. There's those few things, and my wife talks about. She believes it's always happening, and she talks about her dad, Uncle Ray, right? And every so often she'll be like, "Yeah, I think my dad was here, this or that." Like she used to talk about it when the baby was real little. Like the baby would get up and just play in the middle of the night, and Ray will sleep through anything,
Yeah.
right? But me, I'll wake up with anything, and she's like, "That's my dad torturing you." He's waking the baby. She's like, he's waking the baby up because he knows you'll hear it and I won't.
Yeah.
The other crazy thing that I kind of attribute to this, I didn't see anything, but it was just a sequence of events that happened. Was when she and I got married. We flew to Miami and got married on a cruise ship as it was leaving port, and then we were gone for 7 days.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a ton of money, so like we brought her wedding dress with us. We didn't make any plans ahead of time. We just hoped we'd get on the plane and have a place to put it. And so we got on, and all the way down, all these things happened. So we had extra seats. There was a whole overhead bin on the plane on 2 legs of the trip down was open. People just missed it.
That's rare.
Do you know what I mean? Like normally the overhead bins are just fucking jammed
Packed,
shut.
yeah.
Like there's suitcases, there's
Especially
purses,
going
there's
to
fucking
Florida.
kids up there.
Dentures, everything.
But on 2 trips, we had to stop. We stopped in Baltimore on the way down. Both flights, every passenger on the plane, 140 some people missed one bin above our heads. We were able to lay her dress out flat and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
And she's like, "My dad followed us down here." I was like, I have nothing to corroborate that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not going to trash the guy because if anyone would fuck with me after death, it's him.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you know I hope's having that experience right now? Your kids, as they get on a flight to a week at Disney, that
No doubt, right?
that you're not
Exactly.
attending.
Yeah. Uncle Ray's in the ear like, "Your dad's an idiot." Yeah.
There's one empty seat on a plane. It's a middle seat.
Yeah.
It's like dad couldn't fit.
Not like that. I seen someone probably become a ghost.
Dad needs another seat.
I watched a woman jump off the bridge. That
Oh.
was something that I remember vivid. Like every time I think about, I see it fucking
Really?
perfectly.
Yeah.
We were driving to a job, and I was driving a box truck, and traffic was going slow. It was in the morning, and this woman there was a car in front of me, and the car right in front of that was this woman.
So 2 cars ahead.
Yeah, she
All
was
right.
2 cars ahead. Car just stops at the high point of the bridge.
What bridge are we talking about?
Mount Hope Bridge.
All right, so this is a high bridge. Okay.
It was the tallest suspension bridge in New England for most of the 20th century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing's tall. You
This-
think because it's local that it's not. It's a big fucking
No,
bridge.
And it's
big.
intimidating because it's narrow. It's only
Yeah.
one lane in either direction.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just wanted to get a visual.
The car stops, and kind of like what the fuck? Like it was kind of like almost like a quick stop because there was nothing in front of her.
Right.
You know? The door opened up. She got out. There was not a fucking second of hesitation. She walked around the front of the car, put her foot on the bumper, put her fucking foot on the ledge, and just jumped.
Wow.
What the fuck?
I was like, what the fuck? Holy shit.
And then because Craig is Craig, he held up a sign said 8. From what I gather, she didn't nail the landing.
Yeah, no.
Just yell over the edge. You left your keys.
Yeah. And I just got out, moved her car to the side.
Think about the environment, lady.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
No, but we had. This is when cell phones had just started
Yeah.
becoming not necessarily common, but
Like, not everyone had them, but they were around.
they were around.
Yeah.
And I was driving. My foreman was in the passenger seat, and he had one that was, for work with
Sure.
the boss and stuff. And right away, I'm like, call 911. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. So he immediately calls the police, and we're looking. Like, we got out, and we're looking. I don't see
Nothing.
her. And it was like, what the fuck? And then she died.
Yeah.
They found her. Like about 2 hours later, they found her.
They tend to where they usually jump is right by Roger Williams University.
Yep.
So you want to ruin somebody's college career? Just wash up on shore.
Yeah.
To a craggy rock.
Yeah, exactly.
My God.
Oh,
That's a high bridge.
How the hell
man.
do I not know that story?
But I've told you that before.
Because it
Yeah.
happened outdoors.
It was me and Sean,
During business
who was my
hours.
foreman.
Oh,
You met
really?
Sean before, yeah. It was fucking incredible.
Screw you.
You guys
But I
missed
mean-
that entirely.
But those are,
It's okay.
because I was thinking, I'm trying to think of stuff that's funny, you know what I mean? Like, and like,
I say you nailed it.
yeah,
Dude, that bridge is almost, I just looked it up. It's almost 300 feet high.
yeah.
It's a
That's
football field.
That's
Yeah.
a football field, all the way down, and I'm assuming she landed flat.
Mostly, she, like I said, there was
don't think it matters.
It wasn't even one of those things where, like, you see, like, they stand on the edge and they're like, there was no fucking hesitation.
She was on a mission.
I thought when she stopped, I thought there was something wrong with her car.
Yeah.
The door opened, literally walk, foot on the bumper, foot on the ledge, gone.
Wow.
Instantly. Like, what the fuck just happened? Like, holy shit.
Was she hot?
You know? I don't know. Yeah, from the windburn on the way down.
It was like an asteroid going Windbird.
Wait, what cell phone did you have? Yeah. What cell phone did you have?
I didn't have a cell phone. My foreman did at the time.
Was it like one of those Nokia ones?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, not too soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, definitely not.
But,
I want to thank you for bringing such positive vibes to the show tonight.
well, that's what I was saying to you guys. I said, I ain't got nothing funny.
There was one headline in this subject that we did want to bring up. I put it under Craig's name on purpose. It turns out that Craig's favorite movie, it might be real. I think because the birds are tired of dying. The
Yes.
birds are tired of their family members going down. Turns out U.S. skyscrapers maim and kill 600 million birds every year.
Every year.
Crazy.
Every year. So I'm assuming you read this one backwards and forwards.
Yep.
Okay, so tell us, when is the real life birdemic happening?
Wait, before Craig goes into his spiel about birdemic again, wouldn't it be the birds actually killing themselves since they're the ones in motion? It's not actually skyscrapers killing them.
Well, okay, we're talking about birds here. There's a reason that the term bird brain was considered a sick burn 30 years ago. But let's think about birds. What annoys me about birds is when they're flying into the glass, even if they don't realize it's them, you think they would try to avoid the other bird. So I say, fuck them. It's a lesser form of
There's a
species.
lot of
Aren't
variable
they just
too.
playing
Up
chicken?
drafts, down drafts, and stuff like that too.
They play chicken.
There's a
Wait,
lot-
hold up your stupid comment so we can address this one. For one, chickens don't fly. But if they could,
Far.
they would also do this.
Yeah.
Chickens can fly,
platypus.
man.
They fly farther than the
When
planet.
those,
See some roosters go.
when those beaks catch a jet stream, those platypi can fly.
Flying
You know what's crazy? My
platypi.
parents have a 3-season room on the back of their house, so 75% of the walls is windows.
Yeah.
They have birds hit the windows constantly.
Yeah.
There's it almost looks like little rub marks on the windows. You can see the outline of the bird. but they have a hawk living in their backyard or in the neighborhood that's wise to this. He'll hang out in a tree about 30 yards away from the house, wait for a bird to hit the glass, and as soon as that bird hits the dirt, the hawk snatches it and takes
awesome.
off.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love nature.
Yep.
And I think if birds haven't adapted to skyscrapers in 100 years, fuck them.
Yeah.
A cardinal hit my window. Well, birds are constantly doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They're dying. But one of them, he
It's
was
because
still
you
alive.
created such a warm and lovely home.
He was still alive. It was a cardinal. He was still alive, so I brought him in and shit. Started, I was checking him, see if he was all busted up.
Gave him
He
moonshine.
just got a little knocked out. And I had him in my hand and shit. I was,
Yeah,
like,
I remember
fucking
that.
around
That was like last summer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or the summer before. Or
I
something.
don't know. But then went outside, held up my hand, and he flew away.
You got those
It was
fucking
awesome.
hummingbirds here, too. I hate those things.
love
Hummingbirds.
hummingbirds.
We've
That
seen
they're
an owl.
bugs.
There's
They
an
look like
owl
insects.
nest in my backyard, too. I know.
Craig looks like a bug. We don't swat him.
Fuck you.
Not all the time.
That's how we met, though. I was trying to swat that bug off his neck, but it wouldn't.
I saw this fucking thing.
You did?
You'll just
You
don't
finally
ignore
seen
it.
it? No.
I watched this fucking video the other day. Yeah, I'm fucked up. I watched a video of them. They tracked birds to see how far they fly for the seasons like south and and stuff.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible. I was like, because obviously they're tagging some birds, and there's birds that are landing in Cape Cod and shit.
Yeah.
And every year they're flying to the fucking east coast of Africa
God.
and then back.
That's how I'm going to feel tomorrow when my kid's driving to Philly.
Yeah. But I'm like, holy shit. That's fucking insane, man.
We can't get Mike to Seekonk.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. This bird's like, it's like fucking, like, I'm just going to fucking walk there.
Some sparrow just
That's
summered
crazy,
in
though.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
See, Conk, we can't get Mike to see Logic.
But yeah, they fucking just flying into shit. My mother freaked. I remember a bird flew into the window because my mother's the same way. It runs in the family with that fucking superstitious stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And a blackbird flew into the window. My mother's like, that like it was. We moved into this house on Thames Street, and it was a picture window, and a bird flew into it. And my mother's like all fucked up because she's like, when a blackbird does that, it means like death is coming. Like, yeah, to the fucking blackbird. Yeah, like,
And then Craig took a box truck over the Mount Hope Bridge.
yeah. But it was funny. After about 3 months living there, they just went out the window because they're just birds like donk, donk, constantly just flying into the fucking thing.
God.
See, it's like they say all over those memes, though. Don't just because the birds look like they're smiling and happy, you don't know what's going on the inside.
My mother has an irrational fear of birds. I don't know if you know this.
Oh,
Dave.
you told the story about her going through the aviary at the zoo.
We went to Disney World, and I was like, oh, let's go check this out. It was
Wait,
the
where'd you go?
aviary.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Disney World.
God damn it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
it was
you-
fun. It was cool because my mom was with me.
Yeah.
And,
Son of a
Of all the callbacks I've ever wanted to do on the show, I never thought Dave's parenting would be one of them. But I'm all for it.
My mother's deathly afraid of birds, and this is about 6 or 7 years ago. We all went, the whole family, and except for my father, and
And you never recovered.
and and we
That's
were
okay.
there.
It's a small world, Dave.
They'll bring you back some Mickey ears.
But
don't
there
worry.
was this one thing. It's the aviary. But before you go through, you walk through. They got like lizards and stuff.
Yeah.
But once you go in, you have to go through the aviary. There's like no turning back. And my mother had no idea where we were going. I'm like, let's go in here.
Really? This is a great segment for people who are nostalgic for 3 episodes ago.
Yeah. But did I tell this?
Yeah, you
before?
did.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry. Right, never mind. Yeah,
No,
I
it's
made
all
it
right.
run.
Go on. I wasn't here for that one.
Yeah, no, you probably weren't. No, but
You were in the
she-
house.
No, really, I wasn't.
She
here for
ran
that
through
one.
with her hands up, like on the top of her head.
Really?
Running. Ran through the fucking thing. Gone.
Like a birdemic.
Yeah.
See, now my sister's been attacked by birds
See?
more than once.
See?
So
Get her a
usually-
coat hanger.
Usually she gets shit on. And we used to just say, oh, it's good luck, whatever. But there was distinctly one day I saw it happen. I used to work at a car wash that was on a main road in the town next to where I lived. I forgot to bring a lunch one day, so I called her at home like, hey, can you just bring my lunch? So yeah, sure. So I'm standing out front with this other kid. We were at a car wash, so we've been drinking a little bit. And I see her coming down the road, and all of a sudden, she swerves a few times and ducks into the parking lot, jumps out of the car like her seat was on fire and was freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, a bird just hit me. There's a bird in the car. I was like, there's no bird in the car. You take it easy. So this other kid, Tom, and I walk it over, and we're peeking the windows. Like, Chris, there's no bird in this car. She's like, it's in the fucking car. She's freaking out. Now the car's barely in the parking lot. Like the ass end is in the right lane of the road.
Yeah.
So we're looking around. There's nothing. Her driver door's open. So this kid, Tom, opens the passenger door. Looking around, nothing. We open the 2 back doors. There's no bird. I peek down under the seats. I don't see anything. She's like, I swear to God, this bird flew in. So I decided to move her driver's seat forward. I pushed it as far forward as I could, and as soon as I did, under her seat's a fucking pigeon. Just hanging out. I was like, holy shit. She was right. Now we get this pigeon out of the car so we can get the car out of the road.
That's messed up.
So we ended up getting a towel from inside the car wash and snapping at the pigeon like you're trying to pop someone in the butt.
So you're gonna say took the towel and like grabbed the pigeon.
No. Like, fuck this pigeon. We're snapping the towel at the pigeon.
Fucking gym class.
And finally, the goddamn thing flies away. I'm like, Chrissy, what happened? She goes, she was driving. It was the summer. The windows were down. This bird flew from her left into her window, hit her in the shoulder, and then got stuck between her and the door. So she's driving. This pigeon's fucking flapping next to her, trying to go, and she's feeling it scratching her arm. It's all over the place. So she ducked in the closest place she could. It happened to be our parking lot.
That was traumatic.
Oh
Definitely.
my
That's
God.
fucking hilarious.
And she never wore sweaters made of saltines.
So they aim for open windows too. I guess is the moral of that story.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
you
know.
go.
That was the whole point of pandemic.
Fucking birds.
They hate front seats.
They hate
Front
front seats. Yep, that's right.
Bah.
Bah. Bah with the bah, the bang, the bang.
That's Kid Flock.
Yeah. Shit. We should probably move on from the
From what?
horrifying death stories.
There is no thread to this show.
There isn't.
Let's move on to random talk number 3.
Yes.
Dave's
exactly.
intro might as well have been in Greek.
Actually, we covered it.
Yeah.
Oh, funny, crazy
much.
family stories. Yeah. What I was originally planning to do was tell some stories where it was just ridiculous stuff from our childhood, because I thought that would have been a natural transition. But Dave ended with killer pigeons. Yeah. So I don't know really where to go. I only had one story from my childhood, and it was really more about bad, being an adult around children.
Yeah.
Not every aunt was meant to be around kids. And I had one aunt who really, she loved us. I didn't think she always liked us.
Yeah.
Like she really loved it, but she had a very low tolerance for
Yeah, she
kids.
tolerated
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
So, we only saw her on major holidays, but they got me a rocking chair, handmade rocking chair, and I'm 4 years old. And so what do when you have a rocking chair? You want to show it off. And when you walked in my front door, you had 13 steps right in front of you. So what a major place to show this thing off. 4 years old, really not grasping the concept of gravity just yet. And so I rocked and I rocked further, and nobody was paying attention. So I rocked the fuck out of this thing, and then gravity wins. And I start tumbling down the fucking steps. And I'm counting steps. At 4 years old, I can't count to 13, but I'm pretty sure I hit it.
Yeah.
13, boom, 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 boom. And then we had the hard slate tile floor. Okay, it was
nice.
solid. 1970s slate,
Yeah.
gray with like grout that people were proud of. It was
Hard
so good.
slate with that asbestos grout.
That's right. That's right. No fires in my fucking house. So I finally hit bottom. The chair shatters.
Oh.
And all I remember is this woman coming out, did he break the chair?
Yeah.
And that was it. And then I like passed out. And then because I was 4, I don't remember anything after that for another year.
Yeah, exactly.
I might have shit myself once or twice, but you know, at least I got out of my system sooner than Dave did. That was it. I don't have crazy family stories because I had a boring family. I had Cameron's house from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everything was like a museum. If my mother went away for the weekend and she saw one thing out of place, you had a party. So we never threw parties. We never had people over. I can count on one hand the number of times I had sleepovers at my house.
I had a party at my house, and my mother got back, and the house was immaculate. And then she went and turned the vacuum on, and it started like smoking. So she took it to my grandfather for him to fix it, and he pulled like 4 bottle caps out of it. Yeah, so that went over well.
That's fucked up.
I mean, how much trouble did you get in for having parties? Because I would have been punished until now.
Oh yeah.
No, I got grounded.
And how well did that work for you?
Well, it was pretty good. I mean,
She was never home. She worked
my
two jobs.
mother worked 2 jobs, so she was like, "You're grounded. You have to stay home." And I was like, "Okay." So I would just have everybody come to my house.
Yeah. I never got in trouble for
my
having
mother would leave for work. I'd look at my
parties,
sisters. I'd be like, "Time for bed." It's late. Yeah.
I remember one time my parents went to California, and we had a keg party, and
Wait, did they go to Disneyland?
actually they did. Actually they did.
I was gonna ask if they took a boat, but that's not as funny as Disneyland.
Oh, that's way funnier. I'm sorry, Dave. I shit on that.
But anyway, they went to California in a boat, in a flying boat. We had a keg party, and sometimes Manny was there, and his brother-in-law was there too. Kid gets all wrecked. He's stumbling into everything. My mother had these old, wicked Portuguese friggin' porcelain lamps and stuff. So he runs into it, smashes it everywhere. Man, he's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" I was like, "Hey, you know, this shit, she's had it forever." But finally, she comes back, and Manny's like, "Oh yeah, give her this." He gives me an envelope with like $200 in it for it.
Yeah.
Right. So I tell my mother what happened. She's like, "Oh, good. I wanted to get rid of those things anyway. You give me that money. I'm gonna go buy some right now." Oh my God, it was so fucked up. It was funny.
I love your mother. Your mother's so fucking awesome. Because I could have went in there, picked up that lamp, and threw it on the floor, and your mother would be like,
"Oh, you want
it's
something
okay.
to eat?
You want something to eat? It's okay."
Because your pup's sick. Yep. She fucking loves you.
All right, so I guess we saved the best for last. And by best, I mean just for like my wife and your wife. But you promised it. It's on the outline, which means it's in gold now.
Yep.
Okay, it's engraved.
So it's not a childhood story, but we were talking about fun, crazy family stories, and I figured I'm in my family, so I'll tell it.
You are part of the family.
And I want my wife to continue to love me. And like I said last week, the best thing I've ever done in her mind is shit myself at a wedding.
Yeah.
So here goes. When I first bought my house, it was just me. Like I bought my house by myself, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start fixing this thing up. And I did all sorts of work, and I had like 2 or 3 yards of mulch delivered, and it was just sitting out in the front of the end of my driveway. And I'm out there with a pitchfork, like putting it into barrels and shit. And I'm out there, and I'm like, oh, my stomach gets a little weird. And I was like, all right, I'm okay. Middle of the summer, it's fucking hot, so I'm like work boots and shorts and like a cut off flannel.
So you're looking wicked cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, my neighbor across the street had a chicken coop on the back of his garage, so I was good.
Yeah.
Wait, you live next to my parents?
He's like, oh, look at that guy, all dressed up fancy and working.
Wearing a shirt and shit.
Oh, shit.
So I'm out there shoveling. I'm pitchfork and all this mulch in the bucket so I can carry it up to the yard in the back. Because Craig said I need a Sherpa to get myself to the backyard.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm out there.
Dave yodels.
I let a little squeaker out because I'm having some gas. I'm like, all right, good. And I kept going. A minute later, I felt an excess amount of sweat on my calf.
Oh man!
So I give it a little glance, and it's a little bit of sweat that's just helping the shit roll faster down my leg.
Holy crap, man! What the fuck? Oh,
See, this is a different kind of shit story.
Yeah.
This one's grosser.
So I have that immediate moment of panic, almost like when you fall down in public and you get up quick and you look around to see if anyone saw you.
Yeah.
So before I moved, I looked around to see if my neighbors were around, and I was like, all right, good, I'm good. But then I couldn't run into the house because it was the splashy kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I had to casually sit on my pile of mulch to soak it up for a minute before I wood chipped it into the house.
He's got his.
So I mulched my front yard, my garden, my hallway, and my bathroom that day.
Oh shit, man! That's
And the
fucked
roses
up.
were delightful.
Oh, it's
The whole
fucking
time I was
crazy.
thinking he was mulching his backyard. How does that work? His part it just runs down. It's all built up along the side of his house like a fucking snowdrift.
If I were you, I would have climbed that hill and finished up. Yelling at chicken guy across the street. Happens to the best of us.
That guy's had 3 boats in his yard for 6 years. They've never run in water. He spends the whole summer tuning up the engine, and then in September he covers it up. It's never left his driveway.
Are you sure you don't live next door to my parents? Too?
My wife never laughed so hard. I mean, just laughing in my face with me all depressed and sad. In New York City. Me and my wife were in New York City, and again, we went out all night long, partied it up. So we're getting up in the morning, gonna go have breakfast and stuff, and my wife jumps in the shower. So I'm sitting in the hotel room watching TV, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. This ain't good. So I go, and I'm like, try to open the door. I'm like frantic, and it's locked. And I'm like, she's like, give me a minute. And I'm like, no, I don't have a minute. She's like, all right. And takes fucking forever to get to the thing. And then she just opens the door, and I'm just standing there. And she's like, well, you're going to use the bathroom? I'm like, well, no, now I just need the shower.
Oh shit!
And she's like, what? And then just busts out laughing at me.
That's fucked up.
And I'm like, fucking, I gotta throw these clothes out. Fucking,
Hallway trash can.
yeah.
How much of a disaster were all of our shit stories happened in our adult years?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
This wasn't like a middle school thing where things just got away from you. You couldn't leave class till you finished the exam or something. No, these were whole you were mulching your yard. At any given moment, you could have said, "I'm going to go into the bathroom of the house I just purchased," but no, you decided to fight through it.
I decided to mulch and fertilize.
Craig was in a bathroom and still couldn't make this happen. I'm not getting into mine. But there was one. And I'm going to give you a few keywords here for the SEO friendly.
Yeah.
All right. And the keywords are 5 a.m., all night drinking, 24-hour White Castle, walked home, walked back.
Yeah.
Oh man!
And that was it. And all I know is when I came in back with a full bag of White Castle sliders at 5 o'clock, like people are going to work. Okay, and I'm sitting there with a bag of burgers. No 24-hour White Castle has a good purpose.
No.
It should never be open. I don't care how many eggs they want to put on the wafer-thin buns there. It don't matter. No 24-hour White Castle is a good place. So when the guy who just got his tremendously gross order that would have fed 6 comfortably at 5 a.m., when he comes walking back in and immediately heads to the bathroom, everybody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a hallway bathroom to use, but I did have that dome chrome bathroom thing in there that was already overflowing with cups. So not only did I have to get rid of my own drawers, but I had to move other people's cups and bags around to hide the evidence. And then I walk out like Song of the South. I'm like, zippity doo dah. I'm singing, Mr. Shitbox on my shoulder. It was disgusting. And that was that.
Dude.
So I wasn't going to tell the story, and I kind of did. But That was it. So we've all had shits with Mike.
I don't. I mean, I don't.
You're
really
shitting yourself right now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
He hasn't had alcohol in 12
I
hours.
remember when being a kid, slipping into a cocky trance now and then. It's when
Cocky
you're
trance is
when
as
you're
soon as
playing or doing something and you have to go to the bathroom so bad that you don't.
You can't.
You know what I
move.
mean?
If
So
you
you
move,
just
you're gonna
clutch.
shit yourself.
Oh.
So they
Sitting
call
there
them
like
cocky
that.
trances.
Cocky trance.
Cocky trance.
Yeah,
I'm in a cocky trance.
You shit paralyzed.
yeah, shit paralyzed. Yeah, shit
Yep.
paralysis.
Poop paralyzed.
If you move, you're done.
Poop paralyzed.
Mike has a cocky trance now, but it's when, like, ass tube comes on.
There was a roller skating rink around here called Star Wheels.
Star Wheels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Star Wheels.
Yeah.
Star Wheels. It was the
anything more disco than that?
That was the place to
That
be,
was the
man.
place to go. That
Metal.
was the place
That
to
was the
go.
joint.
You were-
Yes.
when you were in your young teenage years, that was the place to go to meet. You'd meet girls that weren't from your school.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They were from out of town.
Was
and
it?
stuff.
Was
and
it?
and
so
you
is
knew
it-
they liked you because they would have like guys skate and girls skate.
Yeah.
So if the guys were out skating and the girls lined up on the edges,
And they would
stick their
high-five
hands
you,
out. If
yeah.
they high-fived you, you were like, I'm in.
I'm in. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is
They-
the most
they-
pathetic story we've ever told.
They
We
had-
just
they
told four
actually-
shit stories, and this one you're upset with.
Actually, I'm a
Oh,
little
wait,
more
hold on.
embarrassed.
This
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
go
shit
ahead.
story.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, Squeals on Wheels? Awesome.
Squeals on wheels.
So we go there and we just like it was me and my buddy Victor. And we just hit that age where now you're going there
You're
like
interested.
You're,
Yeah.
like we're going there to get girls, not to play the video games and roller skate. You know?
Right.
So we get all done up. He slaps on his best pair of parachute pants, right? He's got this fucking like wicked shirt with zippers on it, right?
So you guys went there on a Friday night.
So we're there.
His ball bearings are freshly lubed.
So all of a sudden, I look over in the corner and there's Victor. He's not roller skating anymore. He's got his back. He's still in the rink.
He's in the right.
But he's got his back to the wall and he's got his arms in the wall like he's
Oh,
chilling
my
out
God.
and not skating. So I'm like coming around and I pull up to him like,
Smell-
"What's going on?" He's like, "Dude, come here." Like, what? And I-
Go away.
well, no, I was wearing like I had like this button-down shirt, but unbuttoned with the fucking,
Yep.
you know, with the shirt underneath it. And looking, he's like, "Dude,
Look,
you gotta give me that shirt." And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I need to tie it around my waist. I just shit my pants." So of course I lose it. I'm fucking laughing, and he's like, "Shut up, shut up." He's like, "What the fuck?" He's so embarrassed, right? And I'm like, "Dude, I'm not fucking giving you my shirt to tie around your fucking shitty ass. Fuck off."
tap some girl's hand and grab hers.
So I'm like, whatever. So then, of course, I give him the shirt, and he
Yeah.
ties it around his waist, and he's fucking skating away, like to get
On
to the
straight.
fucking side of the thing, and he's stiff as a fucking board, like
Holy
it was
embarrassing,
fucking
man.
hilarious.
No,
He's like,
that's the worst.
like, just like legs moving to the sides.
Craig,
it was so
push me.
fucking funny. Yeah,
Dude, it would have been great if Staying Alive came on.
yeah, right.
You can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk.
The worst part was, so now his parents were going to pick us up, but they weren't going to pick us up until 10 o'clock. It's like 8:30. Right?
nice.
So he's like, he goes to the phone and he calls his mother.
You're talking payphone right now.
Yeah, payphone.
Yeah.
Goes to the payphone. Fucking mother doesn't answer. Fucking again, like another quarter. Mother doesn't answer. Runs out of money.
Oh my god.
And he's like, "Dude, I need some quarters." I'm like, "Dude, I got $1.25. That's fucking fries and a fucking soda."
That's how long ago this was.
And I'm like, "You're fucked." He was so fucking mad at me. I didn't give it to him. I got a fries and a soda.
Oh yeah. And sat right next to him.
I'm more
probably.
concerned that he didn't go to the bathroom first. He went right to the payphone with
Yeah,
a load in his
yeah.
pants.
Why wouldn't he go?
Oh no,
to the
he was
bathroom and
panicking.
clean
He
himself
was
a little
fucking
bit?
panicking. It was a traumatizing experience, I'm sure. For
Oh,
him,
yeah.
because
For everybody at Star Wheels
like
that
I
night.
said. Well, no, I have to say, nobody knew. Kind of,
Nobody knew. And then Craig walked back in.
He
shit his pants.
I fucking told all our friends the next
Oh
day.
my
But-
God.
I mean, but we were like, as much as I was being a dick and wanted the fries and the soda, wouldn't give him the money to call his mother. I didn't I kind of hit him and I hung out with him. You know what I mean? Like we were just
that would
hanging
be
out.
the
and
last
shit.
place. I wouldn't want that smell associated with anything near me.
Did you let him
it
keep
was-
the shirt?
Oh yeah, I fucking didn't want that thing back. I was like, fuck no.
I'm surprised he wasn't trying to take his logs out and shove them in those zippers.
The worst, the funniest part is you see him try to take the skates off to put his sneakers on.
Oh, that's
It was
uncomfortable.
fucking kicking him off, leaning down sideways, like he had hurt his back.
Like Kramer trying to take off his tight jeans.
You didn't ask you to unlace his...
Oh, fuck. No fucking way. That wasn't happening. I just continued to skate. I ate my fucking...
Every time you come around,
I mean, I hung out with him, but I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go fucking do this just so it didn't look so obvious either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt bad for him, but not that bad. It was a fun night out.
Did
How do
you guys
shoot
play
yourself
video games together?
Skating. Your body's doing so many
I
different
don't
things
know.
when you're skating. How does shitting come into the equation? Go to the bathroom.
I don't know.
We're all fucking disasters, man.
No, I don't think. I think it was just one of those things. Maybe he thought he was gonna fucking fart.
Yeah.
Maybe he was gonna crop dust a whole bunch of people with his fucking roller skates on and fucking just hammering him fucking pants.
The DJ in the middle, he's like, it's couple skating. No, it's not.
But he was wearing parachute pants, so that shit just fucking
Went everywhere.
Yeah.
It was just mashed around in there. It was fucking.
When I was in the second grade, I pissed myself in parachute pants, and I had the elastic at the bottom, so it all built up at the bottom. I had these upside down hot air balloons growing at the bottom, and all the kids. And I remember it was my buddy Kevin. We're still friends today, but I remember he just turned around from the urinal and goes, because I had that rule. You couldn't go to the bathroom until you raise your hand after you finished your work.
Yep.
You could do that kind of corporal punishment back in the 80s. You can't do that now.
No, you can't.
You get that kid gets to go constantly. But I really, really had to go. And so I finally ran down there. And you're doing the work and your brain is still okay, keep it down, keep it down, keep it down.
Yeah, like an internal timer too.
But when you get in there and your body's like, okay, I've got sweet release.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then
you just stop pissing before you fly down.
The visual of a white porcelain, just it flowing. I filled my. This was 9:30 in the morning because I went over to the toilet. I was smart enough in the second grade to go over to the toilet. I didn't just empty it on the floor. Okay, but I lifted the elastic, let it all flow
You
into.
put your foot over the bowl, didn't you?
Yeah, I
pulled
did.
the elastic.
And I even took my shoe off. I was smart enough to take my shoe off. I wasn't smart enough to take my sock off. So then I got back, and my mother picked me up from school that day, and I wouldn't sit in the car. I kept sitting on my knees and this and that. I went through the whole fucking day with piss-soaked parachute pants.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
that with the elastic that was never going to be quite right again. It was bad, man. It was bad.
They were just crunchy pants after that.
They were fold them and put them in the drawer that nobody opens.
Yeah. Those are the extra pants you keep for your friend that sleeps over and has an accident. Like, here, put these on.
Well, I don't-
His pants.
It was right after I got back from the bathroom. Kevin's already going, ooh. Okay, and I get back, and she's like, okay, everybody group up. It's circle time. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not sitting anywhere near anybody. I faked a stomach illness, and I went to the nurse. That was it.
All right, guys, let's get off the pissing and shitting fucking
Pissening.
stories. Pissening.
Is that like the?
It's like a christening. It's like a christening.
The pissening. It was on Pornhub last week.
It's also going to be the title of our 90th episode. Yeah.
I say we get the fuck off all the pissing and shit and then
Yeah.
fucking get
All
back
right,
to
I'll agree with
simpler
that.
times, like when you were kids. When you had childhood
You
heroes.
shit your pants.
When you shit your pants and pissed
40
yourself.
minutes talking about pissing and shitting. We're adults.
I'm just sitting over here in the corner trying to figure out what we're going to name this episode. I have no fucking idea what we're going to name this episode.
Shitting and pissing.
Yeah, because we talked about shitting and pissing for a good 15 minutes.
Yes.
Doubt.
And then we're like, okay, well, let's talk about our childhood heroes.
Yeah, right.
I imagine, based on the 4 people sitting here, that our childhood heroes were people who didn't piss themselves.
Well, maybe.
Maybe,
They
yeah.
have.
You never know.
But it's a good topic, Mike. You
It
brought it
is,
up this
it
week.
is.
I guess it fits the random thing. Who are your childhood heroes? And are they still heroes? Are they heroic type people today? Or did they do like my heroes did and just succumb to being asshole humans? It's Mike's topic, but you know what? I see smoke coming out of his ears. All right, so I'm thinking.
He was just scratching his head.
Yeah. It's like that pollen thing going on in North Carolina.
Yeah, when you hit a bush and it's like,
All right, since Mike needs a few minutes to answer his own question, Craig, why don't you bring us in? Who is your childhood heroes? Now, like, I'm not talking like just superheroes because
no. Well, I mean, it's definitely not. It's not an athlete. It isn't. I never had like athletes as my heroes.
We can
and
tell.
stuff, you know. No, it wasn't. I mean, I loved sports and stuff, but it just wasn't that. Because the biggest thing to me was Han Solo was the coolest guy in the world, right?
All right.
And then then he was then he was Indiana Jones. So you know,
right.
I'm thinking like Harrison Ford to me was the fucking coolest person ever.
And then
you
he
know.
made that movie with Anne Heche.
That was that. But no,
I also love when he fucked up the Amish in Witness.
yeah.
Get off my plane.
Get off my plane. No, but Harrison Ford to me was like, I don't know. I was like fucking enamored. I mean, Indiana Jones, I was into archaeology, all that shit as a kid. I'm interested in that history stuff. I love that stuff. And then
It's rare because the same actor kind of was in
was
all
in
the
both
genres
of my
that you
2
loved.
things that I
Yeah.
loved so much.
I felt the
you
same
know?
way about him. I mean,
And then being the best pilot in the galaxy and the worst pilot in the fucking world.
I know, right?
He was great at flying. He was bad at landing.
Yeah. And he said it in Indiana Jones. I can fly, but I can't land it. And he
Flying,
wasn't
yes.
fucking lying.
Landing, no.
no, when I was a kid, man, I used to love hockey. So friggin' Pete Peters was a huge hero of mine. He played for the Bruins and shit.
Yeah.
And then he succumbed to a big fucking trade to the Capitals. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess, you know.
Succumb to making money in a different city.
Yeah,
Transferred. In
Yeah.
business, he got transferred.
Yeah, he got transferred.
So you cut off my cool Harrison Ford story to
Yeah,
talk
that
about
was enough.
fucking Pete fucking Peters.
He's awesome, man. What the fuck?
Okay, if your last name is Peters and your parents name you Pete, they don't like you.
Yeah. And no one else does either.
Peter Peters.
Peter.
Dick Richards.
Fuck, man.
Dick Richards.
Rick Dickens. Your parents suck. Pete Peters. Wherever the fuck you are. I'm glad they trade you to the Capitals. All right, Craig, did you have more of your story? I felt like
No,
you
I
did.
was just, I was
Yeah,
just
go
saying,
on
like,
with it.
I
Shoot.
I love that guy, and I think he's still to this day one of the funniest motherfuckers because he's so serious, like constantly. You know,
Like, even when he's joking,
even when he's
serious.
joking, he's serious. He makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I just think that's cool.
Because he's a crotchety old man now.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the stories that I thought was the best was when Empire Strikes Back came out, and nobody knew that Darth Vader was. They didn't even the scene acted out. The dialogue after nobody knew what Darth Vader actually said to Luke, except Luke just said, "No, that's not true. That's impossible."
Right.
You know what I mean? Nobody knew what Darth Vader said except for James Earl Jones. So the dialogue wasn't in the film when they acted it out. So when they played it in the theater, everybody was shocked, even the actors. And Mark Hamill says he was sitting on the side of Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford looks at him and goes, "Kid, you didn't fucking tell me that." He said so seriously, and he did, and it's great because when Mark Hamill says it, he does it in Harrison Ford's voice, so it's fucking perfect. And it just, even in interviews with other people, he don't give a fuck about. He's like, yeah, whatever.
He's old. He doesn't care.
He's been crotchety since he wasn't old.
Yes,
He's always been that way. And,
Yeah.
kind
Kinda
of
like
I think
Clint
that's what made
Eastwood.
Han Solo work.
Yeah.
It's because he had kind of like, even in a galaxy far, far away, there's still people who really don't give a shit about your laws and the structure of the universe. I'm doing my thing my way.
Yes, exactly.
He was in his early 30s when he did Star Wars.
Yeah, he was a
movies,
lot
right?
older than the rest of the
The
cast.
Right?
Yeah, he
at
was.
that
He was
point-
a construction
he
worker
was-
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
set.
carpenter. Did you ever see when what's his name? David Blaine is
Fuck
in
David
Harrison
Blaine.
Ford's house,
Yes,
does
I've
that
seen
magic trick. And right when he's done, everybody's like, "Oh my god," and freaks out. Harrison Ford goes, "Get the fuck out of my house."
Yeah.
He is funny, man.
That's how he responded
He is
to him.
funny.
And he does the same trick for like 9 different groups of people.
Yeah.
And it's always like he's in an NFL locker room and you just see all these like linemen just go, no!
Yeah.
Like they just got blessed
Yeah,
at
like,
church.
oh, they're jumping around.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's just constant jumping and laughing and back slapping. And Harrison Ford literally just looks at him and goes, "Get the fuck out of my house." And if you got to know David Blaine, you realize, you want him the fuck out of your
Yeah,
house.
exactly.
He really is kind of pedophilic. I can't wait for Harrison Ford to star in not the Capitals, the Pete Peters.
Yeah. But yeah, that's. I mean, I have quite a few, and like I said, but he's the one that it was just that was my big thing growing up, and Han Solo, Indiana Jones. That's so. If you ask me that question, that's my answer.
That's a great
It's
answer.
just the way it
That's
is.
a great answer.
So who was your hero growing up, Brad? It was a Mets player. I fucking know it.
Well, it was because you have the outline in front of you.
That
You
one
just,
guy.
Stop
I
trying.
actually didn't even
Stop
look.
trying to be all dismissive.
I
Like
didn't
you're
even
too
look.
cool for the room.
Swami.
The '86 Mets defined my childhood. Yeah, and it was only after I got older that I realized the '86
They're
Mets.
just gonna win now and be losers forever.
It was kind of like a peak early kind of thing.
It took a guy that couldn't fucking stop a 1 mile an hour ball rolling fucking between his legs. To
Yeah,
fucking
from the
happen.
Boston fucking
I
Red
know,
Sox.
exactly.
I know.
What the fuck are you talking
So
Hey.
keep
Hey, I'm just
keep
telling,
talking.
I'm just
Yeah.
telling the truth, man.
No, the truth is, the '86 Mets were a polarizing team. If you weren't in New York, you hated
Yeah.
them. But even the Yankee fans in New York liked the '86 Mets because they were fueled by like champagne and cocaine. Like this is what got this team
They all
going.
have big porn stashes and fucking.
Oh my God.
If you want to look at Keith Hernandez smoked in the dugout.
Yeah.
He would sit there, a pack of Marlboros. Everybody else had like Big League Chew, and he had a pack of Marlboros. And he'd sit there and light up. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got picked off at first. Let me light one."
Yeah.
These are fucking athletes, but that was the era. The '80s
Yeah.
were all about excess, and that's what the Mets did. So Keith Hernandez, I played first base. Keith Hernandez was my fucking hero. Then when he kind of fucked over Elaine Bennis, I realized he was kind of a douchebag.
He took it out.
Now he's the announcer for the Mets. This guy has fallen asleep in the booth twice on the air.
Yeah.
Still a heavy drinker, loves bottles of wine. He talks about his.
Yeah.
He's made so many inflammatory comments about the current players that the players are like, "Get him the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
Wow.
And I always thought it was just Keith Hernandez, but the other announcer that was a former player in the Mets booth is also Ron Darling, who released a book this week that absolutely said, "Hey, by the way, Lenny Dykstra, in addition to being a filthy pig, also a racist."
Yeah.
And from what we gathered, he actually sat on the dugout steps during the '86 World Series and yelled at Dennis Oil Can Boyd, calling him all the best imaginable terms you can think of. And he would sit there, and all the press was, "Oh, well, he never did that." And Ron Darling said, "No, he did it." And so now Lenny Dykstra, one of my other childhood heroes, who's a criminal and a maniac who lived in a mansion in Philadelphia, running car washes with a house full of feces. And it wasn't just because Dave was mulching that day. This guy had a mansion that he built, had no furniture anywhere in the house. It was like a squatter's house, and he lived there full time because he had a successful run of high-end car washes in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. And yet he's a criminal 7 times over. He's guilty of extortion. I've read his book. It's frightening.
Yeah.
Like I've never been terrified by a book. Like Stephen King can write all the shit in the world. Lenny Dykstra just sitting at a bar telling you stories way scarier. Way scarier. But Ron Darling pushed the one button you shouldn't push. Yeah, I may be a fucking criminal pig, but don't call me a racist. And Ron Darling pushed that button this week. So the 86 Mets, in addition to being terrible heroes for a kid, also didn't like each other.
Yeah.
And it's really been a shitty week for Metsdom. Also, Superman was a hero, and then I watched Smallville to the end. And I think watching Smallville is worse
Yeah.
than imagining Lenny Dykstra's house.
Yeah.
This fits in with all of our shit talk.
So we've got Harrison Ford, the 86 Mets, Pete Peters. Dave, take us out of this drudgery.
Optimus Prime.
Oh, good answer. There
A
we go.
cartoon.
Good answer,
I-
Autobot.
I loved cartoons as a kid. Now,
Poorly
me too.
animated ones, too.
yeah, I loved the Transformers. That
Me
was
too.
my shit
Hey,
when I
I
was a
did
kid.
too, man.
Like to the point where
We
I
all
would
did
actually
too.
go to Hasbro and test out new Transformers and toys for them.
Oh, did you do the? You did the
I
test.
would,
Oh,
I would go
prick.
there and they would sit me in like this room with a one-way mirror on the wall.
And you got to keep it though, didn't
Yeah.
you? You
well, not that
fucking
one. No,
asshole.
no. So they would give me a toy, and be like, here, and they would let me figure it out and play with it without any instructions.
Yeah.
Like the engineers that designed them, had
Yeah,
their
they wanted
thoughts.
to see if you could simply like.
But they want to see how is a kid going to do it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the whole idea. But they would let me.
Like, oh, he just shit his pants. Forget it.
Why is he eating the toys? Yeah.
Just take the toy back. Kid just shit his pants.
He shits his pants and makes that.
But they would let me pick on my way out. They would have like a shelf with a bunch of new Transformers about to be released. They would let me pick like one or two on my way out.
You shit your pants, they gave you GoBots.
Yeah. Fucking GoBots with
I
the
got a
worst.
box of those
Here's
things
Lita
today.
one.
Yeah.
Big giant box today packed.
It was
with
fucking Mask.
Transformers
Remember
today.
Mask?
Was donated.
Mask. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
It was
I
like,
do.
yeah, there's how
All the
innovative we
vehicles.
are. Here's a Camaro. Now it's doors fly up. Now it's a plane.
Yeah. It was so
Half the
lame.
guys in
Mask
Fall River
was
tried
the
that.
Worst. Mask was the worst.
Yeah, and when Eric Stoltz came in with that giant head, he couldn't transform fast enough.
Form of a giant boulder.
I'd love to watch the movie Mask with the transforming sound effect. Every time he gets out of bed.
At the end, it just transforms into a big pine box.
Oh shit!
No, but so you used to do that because I remember a friend of mine did that. Would go to Hasbro and
Yeah.
did the toy test, and you would get to keep the toy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want in. Like, dude, how do you do this? You know?
I have no idea. Like my parents set it up somehow. I don't know how they did it, but I remember distinctly going 4 or 5 times at least. That may have been more. But
I remember
Yeah.
Optimus Prime was a tough toy.
Yeah.
That was a lot of moves for a kid to figure out without instructions.
And it was 2 pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the trailer,
And it was
stuff.
tough to keep together. Even once you got it clicked together,
Yeah.
it would start to fall. Like the legs would start coming out from the
My
sides and
mother,
shit.
my aunt, 2 of my aunts, my grandmother, they all worked there. So
No
they used to-
shit.
yeah, they used to come home with all kinds.
No, Megatron was the best because he transformed into a gun.
Yeah.
Around with
Yeah,
a fucking
exactly.
gun.
cool one. Actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, it,
And it had
looked
like,
like
a little,
real
the little
gun.
wrist
Had a
brace
real-
underneath.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
It looked like an actual real gun.
Yeah.
I like Starscream. I've always been a fan of Starscream.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one, but yeah, Transformers are a big part.
Love
of it.
Blaster.
They were. You know what's crazy? They started off as
big radio.
toys, and then they made the cartoon after the toys were
Right.
designed.
Yeah.
And then they made movies 20 years
And
later.
that's where my story falls apart.
I'm sorry.
No. It's fine. But like we're talking about our heroes that disappointed us. The first Transformers movie that we had, 12 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
I was kind of into them. Like, all right, I get to see my childhood toys come to life, right? And then Optimus Prime being the hero of mine. He was the bravest machine in the universe and looking out for the small guy. Just got pegged by Michael Bay.
Yep.
So we talked about black holes earlier. This was a metal hole that just got widened and widened and ratcheted out. And it's gotten worse and worse, and I'm so upset.
That one scene where they were outside the kid's house and he goes, "My bad."
Oh my God.
That was it.
When they're
That-
trying to
that's all-
hide, when they're
yeah.
hiding
Yep.
and
Game
stuff.
over.
along-
Game over. Okay, you're a 20-foot tractor trailer robot. You're not
Yeah.
hiding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie. I mean, I was impressed by the animation. The
It was
amount of-
cool.
The
Kind of-
special
yeah.
effects are incredible.
Yeah.
What kind of truck was he? I think it was a Peterbilt, wasn't it?
Oh my god! Fucking Mike gets line of the night.
Yeah, there you go.
That outstanding. Oh shit!
But yeah, even like when they transformed it's like too technical, like compared to what
It was cool to see
be.
as an adult, but as a
Yeah.
kid watching those movies now, I think it might be a little too much. You know, it went from very simple, like you said, to it's gotten complex.
And when I saw that Bumblebee was a Camaro, I was pissed that he wasn't a Volkswagen.
they gave
but
a
now
nod
he
to
is.
it in
He
the
is
original.
now. Yeah,
but
they
yeah.
did. They did.
Yeah,
that's
it
right.
was a little much. That was so for me. That was what it was.
All right, so our heroes suck.
Yes, they do now.
That's
Mine
it.
doesn't.
That's it. We need to do housekeeping,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we need to wrap this shit up.
Yeah, we do.
So let me run through a little bit of housekeeping. At NTS_podcast on all major social media networks. As you may have noticed, I'm a little more active on Instagram than we are. I say me because nobody else is fucking doing
I had
it.
put one picture up. That is it.
And I
I will.
really do
I will be.
appreciate your backbreaking effort. I do. But check us out. We're going to start being a little more active. We're going to start promoting some more things because we are getting a new merchandise shop.
Yep.
I have it narrowed down to 3 possible providers, and they will provide all of the things that Teespring promised but didn't.
Yeah.
Well, they-
only 2 to 1 weeks
I was
delivery.
gonna say, well, they provide 8 to 6 week shipping.
6 to 8.
Cycle.
6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna get coffee mugs. We're gonna get mouse pads. We're gonna get socks. We're gonna get slippers. We're gonna all the things anywhere you want to stick our face. And a lot of people probably are gonna get those slippers just to walk on our faces.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of people in
About
CVS
underwear?
just want to punch us in the neck right now.
Thankfully, Craig's got that extra level of security right in the front of his neck.
It's a cushion.
It's a neck pillow.
That thing should just say Everlast on it.
I just thought of a name for that thing on his neck. It's not neck thing anymore. We should just call it Stoltz.
Sam Elliott's love child.
It's got a big handlebar stash on it. Oh, man.
Little flashing sign, Roadhouse. All this to promote our new merchandise shop.
Right?
No, we're gonna have some cool stuff. I've managed to get all of the old graphics back loaded onto my computer, so I'm gonna just transfer them over, and then I'm gonna close the Teespring shop. So again, if you go to teespring.com and you search for the Needless to Say swag shop, stop yourself right there.
Yep.
Do not complete a purchase. Thank you to everybody that did, including myself twice in the last 7 days. But honestly, I really want you guys to stop doing that. We're going to get a new one, better quality shirts, better quality merch, better variety of merch, and better fucking
Service.
shipping.
Yep.
How dare you tell me I can't upgrade my shipping for my own shop?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Garbage, third world nation company, and I'm done with them. So you know what? Live and learn. We lived, we learned.
Yep.
Dave, thank you for the intro that had absolutely nothing to do with this show. I don't know if we're going to keep it in or not, but I'm going to leave this part in just to let everybody know that we really did come in with an intention tonight. And
We did.
And like Dave and Mulch, we shit all over it. We have no new music. Cycle is out there. You go to cyclemusic.com.
Yep.
and you check them out because we love them and we've been breaking their balls the last few weeks.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, but the truth is we love these guys.
Nah,
we
they're awesome, man,
Cannot
yeah.
wait for their new album. And Craig cannot wait for his old shirt.
It's going to be new old stock by the time he gets it.
Another music shout out. In about 48 hours, I'm going to see King Fowley and the rest of the guys in Deceased.
Nice.
King.
Including the new drummer, who I'm looking forward to meeting, the replacement for the late, great Dave Scarface Castillo. One More Glass in the Middle for Scarface. This is going to be their first show they've played since Scarface. So I want to give him another shout out.
Yep.
I will come back with heavy reporting. I'm also going to be bringing every koozie we have from Comic-Con.
Yep.
Yes, definitely.
So we're going to do that. Anybody else got anything for housekeeping?
No.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's give it back to the master. Craig?
Needless to say, we said it.